Hello, this is Daniel Mart back again. I'm an actor and filmmaker based out of South Florida, and for this video I'm going to be basically discussing the recent casting rumors or confirmations that have come out for the new upcoming Harry Potter TV series, because they have been very controversial, especially as of late, especially with one particular piece of casting, and well, hot take time, basically. So for those who don't know, it's been recently confirmed that both the roles of Severus Snape, and Albus Dumbledore have been confirmed, have been officially cast, and that the role of McGonagall is very close to being cast. It's been very rumored, but I don't think, from what I've heard so far, it hasn't been officially been cast. And I basically want to talk about that because, like I said, it's been very controversial. It's the casting for this, especially for Severus Snape, has been very controversial in general, and I just generally haven't liked the tone of it, in my opinion, and I kind of just want to discuss that. So I'm going to start off with Snape, and that is the fact that Papa Esidu, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correct, but Papa Esidu has been cast as Severus Snape, and this we've known for some time. He's been rumored to have been cast already or been considered for the role for some time. And people, when this broke out, people lost their minds because he's black. That's literally it, because he is black. And because in the books, which I'm going to be reading off here, Snape is described as a thin man with sallow skin, a large hooked nose, greasy black hair reaching his shoulders, and a cold black eyes. He often wears long, flowing black robes, giving him somewhat of a bat-like appearance. So that's how he's described in the books. And, well, for those who don't know what the word sallow means, sallow basically means pale white, essentially, or like sickly white, almost yellowish. And, well, Papa Sidu, again, is a black man. So what do I think of it? People are dumb. People are being low-key racist. This is not really an issue. I'll be honest, I'm not really familiar with Papa Isidu's work. I've seen a few clips of him every here and there. Now, when the news first started breaking out that he may be the new Snape, I saw a few clips about it, but you know, I thought he seemed like a good actor. He seems talented, and I had no problems. Like, I was thinking, like, okay, if he gets a role, he gets a role. Here's the thing: I don't really believe that him being black or white or Asian or Hispanic, it really matters for the character of Snape. It's not like he's being discriminated against for being white or being some white minority, like, I don't know, Italian, for example, or I guess Irish, because, you know, this is in England, so I guess the Irish will be a better comparison. It's not like he's being discriminated because he's a certain white ethnicity. He's being discriminated because just Snape is kind of just overall off-putting, kind of a creep, and a bit because of his actual background, in sense of like his family background, economic background, because he comes from a low-class family and with one mom, and that's really it. His dad kind of like left when he was a child, if I'm not mistaken. None of that really has to do with his race. But still, people have lost their mind over this casting even before it was ever confirmed, and I just don't care. I've always thought, like, if the actor can do the job, and if race is not an actual element of the character, then this really shouldn't mind. The one thing that I have seen people bring up, which I think is kind of, I think it's kind of a funny thing, if you ask me, is that they're saying, oh, also this guy's a little bit too hot to portray Snape, which, I mean, yeah, he's good looking, but then at the same time, are you saying that Alan Rickman isn't good looking? I just find that also, that kind of comment funny. And yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing. I actually think that he will do a fantastic job from like the few clips I've seen of him and some of his other stuff. I think he'll do a fantastic job as Snape. I think he has the right gravitas, he has the right energy for it. And you know, if he's a little bit hot, so be it. I mean, people still like Snape, either like Alan Rickman Snape. People still dream of Alan Rickman Snape and think that he's hot in his own right. So like, that being another point of contention has, I've always found kind of weird and kind of stupid as well. So I don't really see that being an issue. And if I'm being completely honest, I don't really see race swapping to be that big of an issue in general in most cases. Again, unless the character is actually the race of the character is actually integral to it. If Snape, for whatever reason, was like a slave, like let's say this was like a remake of Amistad or 12 Years a Slave, and then you make Solomon Northup, the main character in 12 Years a Slave, white for some reason, okay, then in that case, that would be an actual issue, because, hey, a slave, especially in like 1700s America, is supposed to be black. And now you're casting a white man. Like, that makes no sense. But for this, it really doesn't matter if he's black, white, Asian, Hispanic, native. Doesn't really matter. It's not really that much of an issue. Now, does he have the crooked nose? No, definitely not. So does he have like the bat-like features? No, but that can also be arranged with makeup and hairstyling, with costuming. You know, they could give him a wig, and then he has like this long, shaggy hair. Like, that's something that's really easy to replicate with basic costume, makeup, and hairstyling. So the fact that people are getting so worked up because of this is like, who cares? You guys are literally overreacting to something that could literally be done in pre-production, where they plan ahead. It's like, okay, so he needs a crooked nose. Okay, we'll just do the makeup. I have the crooked nose. There we go. Oh, he needs long hair. Okay, here's a wig. Make sure it looks good. Okay, now he has long hair. Here's the thing, however. He's going up against Alan Rickman. This Harry Potter series in general is already kind of struggling in some sense, because they're always going to be compared to the original movie series. And granted, the original movie series is great. I don't think it's God tier per se, but I do think it's great. However, now with the show, they're going to be able to expand on so many avenues, from like the Gaunt family to Spew, for example, so many avenues. And this is going to be one of those things, like, we could delve more into Snape's backstory here, and having Papacito, I think, would be great. It's always going to be an uphill battle. I remember a lot of people wanted Adam Driver to be in this, but my one trepidation with that is, like, he's American, and I know I just said I don't mind race swapping, or I guess in this case ethnicity swapping or nation swapping, in any case, but Harry Potter is such a British thing in this case, and with the original series, that no American actors were basically allowed, aside from like 2 exceptions. No American actors were ever allowed in the series, and that's before Fantastic Beasts, by the way. In the original series, no American actors were allowed. That had to be an all British cast, aside from 2 exceptions. Like, that was such an integral thing. So for me, like, Adam Driver would honestly be a great pick, but he's American. Now, would it be good? Sure, why not? But again, he's British. Which, now, I kind of have my issue with Dumbledore, funny enough. I know I just said I don't have an issue with race swapping, but for this one, I'm a little bit, not peed off. I'm not going to say pissed off, but it's one of those things like, oh, I kind of wish you guys would have kept the British rule. And that's how the fact that they got John Lithgow to play Dumbledore. And John Lithgow is an American. He's a great American actor. He's been great. He has played British roles. He even played Winston Churchill in a movie at one point. So I don't have a problem. I'll be completely honest. I don't have a problem with him being cast. I think he's a fantastic actor. I'll be honest. I am not completely familiar with all of his filmography, but he was just in Conclave, for example. So, you know, he's good. He's great. He's been an institution here. But there is a small part of me that kind of wishes they would have kept the whole all-British cast. You know, whether they be from England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, wherever. I kind of just wish they would have kept that, at least a little bit. But again, I'm not completely mad. I'm not even pissed off. It's just like one of those things. Oh, would have been nice if it was an all British cast, but hey, it is what it is. So I don't really have an issue with that. I just kind of want to bring it up too, because I just find it kind of weird. Like, oh, people are so concerned with this, but one of the main things of Harry Potter, just in general, for casting up until Fantastic Beasts, was the fact that it had to be an all-American cast, and now you guys aren't really making a fuss about this. I just find that just to be a little bit hypocritical, if you ask me. But again, I really do think that John Lithgow will be a great Dumbledore. I think he'll be fantastic in it, and I'm really excited to see it. And then the one last bit of casting news I want to mention, which is probably the least controversial, granted it's not fully confirmed, and that is that Janet McTeer has been potentially cast as Minerva McGonagall. I say potentially because it hasn't been officially confirmed. It's just been heavily rumored, similar to how Papacito has been heavily rumored for the past few months, and now it's confirmed. Right now, it's heavily rumored that she will be Minerva McGonagall. I think she is good for the role. I'll be honest, I don't know her work. I've never heard of her up until now. I've seen a few clips now that her name is starting to pop up, so she seems good. Honestly, why not? And she kind of looks like, I'm looking at my computer, she kind of does look a little bit like Maggie Smith, rest in peace. So, you know, it could work. I don't see anything against it. So why not? Just that. So I just want to give my quick thoughts on all this. I think the Papacito stuff and his casting is just kind of stupid and borderline, if not outright racist in some cases, and just kind of stupid from a production standpoint as well, because hey, if you want him to look like a bat, or, you know, or look ugly or whatever, makeup, hairstyling, costume, that's really it. You know, really, his skin is really not the issue. People just want to make a fuss out of everything because that's how it's described in the book, and it's like, who cares? Like, again, it's not really integral to his background, so whatever. Again, the John Lithgow thing, I wish they would have gotten a British actor. Like, I don't know, who would they have got in? Oh, who's the guy from Paddington? The dad from Paddington. Him. Oh my gosh, I forget his name right now, but there you go. Maybe that would have been a great choice, maybe. But that little wrinkle aside, you know, I'm excited for it. Again, just wish it would have been a fully British cast, but it is what it is at this point. And if Janet McTeer, she gets casted as McGonagall, once she officially gets casted, I think that'll be great. Overall, I think people are making a mountain out of a molehill, and it's just really stupid. Again, just in general, for me, like I said before, unless the character's race is specific to their struggles or to their character or to their journey in the film or in the project, I feel like you could race swap every which way, nation swap, race swap, whatever swap. every which way, and that's really it. And that's really it. I just think this is stupid, blown out of proportion, and that's really it. I really hope it's good eventually. I hope it doesn't end up like the Avatar live action. So, yeah. But yeah, that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart, signing off.